Uh, on the previous video, we talked about the first homologous series, which is alkane, alkene, and alkyne. So today, I want us to start from the haloalkanes. So this is where we're going to say haloalkanes. So in haloalkanes, these are the haloalkanes that we're going to use. We have Br for bromine. So when we name the structure, we're going to say this is bromo. And then Cl, we're going to say Cl for chlorine, we're going to say this is chloro. And then we have F for fluorine, we're going to say this is fluoro. And then we have I for iodine, so we're going to say this is iodo. And then now let's say we have the structure like this, C. So and then we have Br here, and then the hydrogen atoms. So first we check the longest chain first. So this is our longest chain. That means we are going to circle the longest chain now. So after circling the longest chain, now we must number the carbon atoms, but we must make sure that our halogen must get the lowest number. So we're going to start here 1, 2, 3, 4. If you start this side, that means your halogen is going to be in number 3, but from this side is number 2. So we consider this side. So now we check the parent chain. The parent chain, it has 4 carbon atoms. That means it's going to be butane. Butane, because this is single bond. So I just decided to give it butane. But let's check carbon atom number 2. There is bromine. So carbon atom number 2 dash, we said we're going to call it bromo. So this one is going to be bromo. And then now we combine the name now. We start with the bromine. So we're going to say 2 dash bromo. Then with what? Butane. Make sure this one is a small letter because it's one name. There is no way you can write a capital letter in the middle of the name. So the name of this structure now is going to be 2-bromo-butane. This 2, it means the position of bromine on the carbon chain is position number 2. So let's have another example. Let's say now we have this one. So now let's say we're going to have a branch now, since you remember how we name a structure with a branch. We have a bromine here. Okay, now let's check. From this side, we have a bromine as in carbon atom number 1. But from this side, carbon atom number 1, there is nothing. That means we're going to start this side. So now we must circle the longest chain. So this is the longest chain now. So since the bromine is in carbon atom number 1, that means we will start here. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So since it's 4, that means we will say this is butane. Butane because it's single bond. So now let's check carbon atom number 1. There is bromine. So let's say we're going to say 1 dash bromo. And then carbon atom number 3, you remember how to name a branch. Carbon atom number 3, there is a methyl. So here in carbon atom number 3 dash, we have what you call methyl. So now we must combine the names. We must combine the names and make it one name because it's one structure. So between B and M, B comes first alphabetically, right? So now we're going to say 1 dash bromo. That means bromo must come first, and then dash, as long as there is a number, we must put a dash. So dash 3 dash, then methyl Then what is the parent structure? Butane. So here we're going to say butane. That means now the name of the structure, the IUPAC name of the structure, remember we're IUPAC naming. So the IUPAC name of the structure is called 1-bromo, 1-bromo, 3-methyl butane. So let's have another structure now. Let's say now we have this one. So we have Cl here, and then yes, so let's check. Here we have Cl now and a double bond. So remember, a double bond is a functional group. That means a functional group must get the lowest number first. So this is what we're going to do now. We must cycle the longest chain. So here we're going to cycle the longest chain. So this is the longest chain. Since now we have the longest chain, that means we must start counting. But we must make sure that our double bond must get the lowest number. So you are going to start here. 1, 2. Carbon atom number 2, there is a double bond. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So since the parent chain is 6, it has 6 carbon atoms. That means 6, we're going to call it hex. But before we complete the name, let's check. There is a double bond. That means now the ending of the name must change. So we must have dash. Let's check the position of a double bond. It is in carbon atom number 2. That means we write 2, then dash. The ending of the double bond is ENE for alkene. So the homologous series of this one is alkene. So now let's check. Carbon atom number 4, there is a Cl now. So 4 dash Cl for chloro. Then now we must combine the name. So we start with this one as like we're naming the branch. So it's going to be 4 dash chloro dash, oh sorry, not dash, because now we have the parent structure. So it's going to be hex 2 in or ENE. So now this is the IUPAC name of the structure. So let's say now we have a halogen and a branch and a double bond or the triple bond. So now this one, okay, so let's say now we have Br, and then here we have Cl, and then here we have a branch, and then just like that we're going to have a double bond here. So then, all right, sorry. So now this is the structure now. We have the bromine and the Cl, and then also the branch here. So now this is what's going to happen. We must check where is our functional group. So the functional group now, it's here. That means we are going to start here. So this is carbon atom number 1. So since this one's carbon atom number 1, we're going to cycle the longest chain. After cycling the longest chain, now we must number the carbon atoms. So we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means we have 7 carbon atoms. So 7 carbon atoms is what? It's a hept. So now we must put dash. There is a position for a double bond here. It's position number 1. So we're going to write 1, then dash. Since it's a double bond, the ending is ENE. Now let's check. Carbon atom number 6, or carbon atom number 4. Yes, carbon atom number 4. there is methyl. So we're going to say this is 4-methyl. And then let's move on. Carbon atom number 5, there is chlorine, right? So now let's say carbon atom number 5 dash, we have chloro. And then let's check now carbon atom number 6, there is bromine. So carbon atom number 6, bromo. Okay, that's all. Now we must combine the names and make it one name. So we must check, we must use the alphabetical order to combine these names. So we must check who comes first alphabetical. So we found out that B comes first, then C will follow, then M. So that means we're going to start with bromo. So now we're going to start with 6-bromo dash. As long as there is a number, we must put dash. So dash, now we go to C, 5-chloro dash, now 4-methyl. Then we combine this one, hept dash 1-ene. So that means this is the IUPAC name of this structure. Okay, let's check another one. Let's say now we have C, just like that, and then we have a triple bond. So we have bromine, and then we have a branch, we have Cl, okay, and then here we have another branch. Okay, so now let's check. From both sides, when we count or when we check, carbon atom number 2, there is a methyl. From this side, carbon atom number 2, there is bromine. Oh, this one's carbon atom number 1, sorry. Carbon atom number 1, there is bromine. But when we check our triple bond, it is in the middle of the structure. So that means now we must continue counting. Oh, carbon atom number 1, there is nothing this side, but this side there is bromine. That means we are going to start at this side now. So now we are going to cycle the longest chain. So this is our longest chain. Okay, after cycling the longest chain now, we must name or we must number the carbon atoms. So to number the carbon atoms, this one is in carbon atom number 1. That means we must start here. We don't hesitate. So carbon atom number 1 is this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So since it's 6, that's where we're going to say we have hex. And then we check there is a triple bond in carbon atom number. Since we started this side, it's going to be in carbon atom number 3. So dash 3 dash. Then the ending for alkyne is YNE. Now let's check the positions now. Position number 1, there is a bromine there. So position number 1, 1 dash bromo. And then position number 2. Position number 2, there is a chlorine and a branch. So this is what we're going to say now. Position 2, we have chloro. Also position 2, we have methyl. And then position 5, in position 5, we have another methyl. So in position 5, we have methyl. And then we're done. All right, now we combine the names. So we must check who comes first, alphabetical. B must come first, right? So we're going to start with the B. So we're going to say 1 dash bromo dash, then C must follow. So it's 2 dash chloro So chloro, then dash, check we have 2 methyls. So since it's 2 methyls, that means we're going to say 2, 5, then dash. Since it's 1, 2, we call them dimethyl. Then the parent name, hex, dash 3, dash YNE. So that means the IUPAC name of this structure is this one. It looks long, right? So that is the end of the halogens and the branches and the double bond and the triple bond. So on the next video, we're going to check the aldehyde, the ketone, and the alcohol and stuff. So for now, thank you.